Here I am, Leon C., aka Morpheus. Now I got something a little bit special for you today. A little bit of evidence that I want to show you about some things. See, years ago, engineers, developers, video games and things like that have been trying to drop red pills or trying to drop a little bit of facts into the society a long time ago. See, a lot of times, especially you women, listen up. Women, listen up carefully. Okay? See, a lot of times you may think that video games is childish. It's for kids. It's a waste of time. But because social media is such a, or you could say the mainstream media on your television, on your daylight news channels can only tell you so much. There has been people who've been trying to warn you here around in America, the Eastern, not Eastern, but the Westernized civilization. And some of you who are so political and a lot of you who are so afraid or scared about what's going on today. And so people of all types, sometimes in some of your movies, in your video games, in books, and sometimes in your school, sometimes they may be a professor who might give you a little insight on what's going on in your world. So this right here, and I expect I don't get any copyright strikes. It's just an example. I'm just cutting a little piece out of here to let you see the dialogue between this guy over here, named Jack on the right hand side, and on the left hand side, Rose. Now I want you to listen to that conversation, and I'm going to pause it and explain to you what they really mean that you're dealing with today. Now this is Metal Gear Solid 2. And I don't know right now when Metal Gear Solid 2 was created or made, but this was years ago. Okay, this is a long time ago where this game came out, and they was dropping dimes. They were trying to make awareness to you, your children, and to your society that a lot of some of you funny looking bozos, excuse me, that's what you are, never receive. You have to be, because the message has been everywhere. These are people who behind the scene, they're not called Morpheus, but they were Morpheus in their own way. They were trying to pull you out the matrix, one form or another. And I have another audio. I got something else I'm going to show you in a little while. It's not going to be this one. I'm going to make another video, but let's go ahead and get into it, because I know you're tired of looking at the screen. But let's go ahead and I'm going to pause it every now and then. Got my little mouse here, and show you what they mean. Just listen carefully.
But there are things not covered by genetic information.
What do you mean?
Human memories, ideas, culture, history.
Genes don't contain any record of human history.
Is it something that should not be passed on? Should that information be left at the mercy of nature?
We've always kept records of our lives.
Okay, right there, they were skipping over something, and I'm going to make awareness to you. There is more than that in your genome. Yes, there is memory. Yes, there is also experience. Okay, now I know there's a lot of genetics that say, well, Morpheus, you don't know what you're talking about. That's not true. Yes, it is true. Yes, it is true. I did my research. Okay. I did my psychological evaluations. Okay. And I did my studies as well. All right. But these are the things that they don't want you to know about. Okay. For actually, they're telling you something. They're in this particular dialogue. They're telling you to focus on what they just got through saying. To think about what they're saying. That's why they're bringing it up. They're telling you, well, it's only this in your DNA. They're not telling you that it's only this in your DNA. They're telling you that there's so much more in your DNA. Okay, now I know some of you thinking, well, you're just breaking this down. You know, this is a simple video game. You just don't know what you're talking about, Morpheus. This is just for entertainment. No. Set your mouth and let's continue. Since you want to be the bozo, I don't want to listen. That's why the society is the way it is today. That's why we are sick-minded today in America, because you don't want to pay attention when people are trying to help you and give you awareness before things happen. These let's just go forward, okay, before I get fired up.
Through words, pictures, symbols, from tablets to books.
But not all the information was inherited by later generations. A small percentage of the whole was selected and processed, then passed on. Not unlike genes, really.
That's what history is, Jack.
But in the current digitized world,
Listen.
trivial information is accumulating every second.
Listen.
Preserved in all its triteness.
Listen.
Never fading, always accessible.
Rumors about petty issues, misinterpretations, slander.
Listen. Did you hear what she just said? Rumors, petty issues, misinterpretations, and slander. Don't you have that on your social media now? Aren't you dealing with people who are having beef against one another, competing against the next content creator? Aren't you seeing all this plethora of information, useless information based on petty, ignorant nonsense? But they go further than that. They're going to break it down for you who are in the back of the room, who got Dodo the bird in your blood, in your DNA, and you're off the dog here. Okay, pay attention and straighten out your collar and listen.
All this junk data preserved in an unfiltered state, growing at an alarming rate.
Isn't that what
It
happened?
will only slow down social progress, reduce the rate of evolution.
She broke it down for you. Did you see that? She broke it down for you. I'm not going to reverse it. It's right here. It will only slow down social progress and reduce the rate of evolution. We're in a state of de-evolution right now. Why? She just told you. The plethora of useless, petty information, not getting into the core about what's going on. Basically, here it is. You're distracted. But they're going to tell you specifically right here on this, for you who think it's childish, video game, exactly what's going on in your real world. You tell me how much of a funny entertainment this is, when these are facts that was given to you so many years ago. But this is why years ago, video games were a man thing anyway. I'm not going to get into that. It was a man's game. Okay. And a lot of times men receive information this way and other ways, and they can logically break it down, but just don't know how to put the pieces together. And oftentimes you don't realize that you have just received knowledge until later on in your life, when things start unfolding before you, that somebody did try to help you out. Somebody told you about what was coming to you, your country, and your children, and the future that we're dealing with today. De-evolution. Aren't we stuck with our cell phones now? Isn't everyone all captured in their computers? Everything is electronic. Everything is lazy. These people wasn't lying to you. Dialogue, video game are not. These were facts. This is their way of trying to reach out to the generation and society without being forward. But let's go. Let's continue.
Why? You seem to think that our plan is one of censorship.
Are you telling me it's not?
You're being silly. What we propose to do is not to control content, but to create context.
Did you hear what she said? Did you hear what she just said? It's not about censorship. They're trying to censor my YouTube channel. They're trying to censor my TikTok. They're trying to censor me. No. They opened up the floodgates because they know more information you get, the dumber you are. And guess what? For some of you, you are. Okay? Hello. Because it's not the content. They're not controlling that, even though you think they are. Okay? They're creating context. Outside of, so you have, let's say 50 people with a smartphone or with a computer or in front of their so-called social media platform talking BS. Okay? And you got, out of the maelstrom of them, or the plethora of them, none of them aren't really agreeing like they need to get to a single point and make a solution. Because you got one person talking out of the ear, and you got another person talking out of the rear end. You got another person who's speaking from an emotional standpoint of view. Okay, and we're not getting no damn where. Okay, and then you got people in the middle who's literally confused as to who to follow, who to pay attention to, and who's telling the truth. So the obvious idea is to confuse. Listen, at war, you are to confuse the enemy. Is somebody listening to me? To confuse the enemy is to make you think that they're going to come to you directly. No, they're going to come to you from another angle. And the other angle is to let you have what you want, to feed the fat pig. And after you so fat with useless information, after you so fat with your fat head and your interest in other insignificant values, you worrying about your PhD, you worrying about your career, you worrying about yourself, you're selfish, you're stuck on some haterism, you worried about racism, you worrying about all this nonsense, non-existent, ignorant behavior that is a plethora of information based on silly, petty arguments. You're not realizing that you're not evolving. You're not evolving to the point where you need to be. So you continue forward into the future while you de-evolving because you're not paying attention to your mission in life or your purpose here on human earth. To make something happen, not become this one-man island mentality that you are here in the West.
Create context.
The digital society furthers human flaws and selectively rewards development of convenient half-truths.
Uh-oh, you hear it?
Just look at the strange juxtapositions of morality around you.
Listen.
Billions spent on new weapons in order to humanely murder other humans.
Rights of criminals are given more respect than the privacy of their victims.
Did you hear that? Rights of criminals are given more respect than the privacy of their victims. So, okay. So some of you you got your thumb in your mouth. Okay, that sounds like if I take away your ability to defend yourself, your rights to bear arms. If I tell you, no, you cannot defend your home, or you can't carry, okay, something like that. Or, no, we're going to limit your magazines or something of that nature. Okay. Is the criminals going to limit their magazines? Is the criminals going to abide by the law? No. Is the criminals going to say, oh, wait a minute, I'm sorry, sir. You don't have a, how can I use that word without it becoming flagged? You don't have a blowhorn, so I'm not going to mess with you. You have nothing to protect yourself, so I'm going to pass you by. No, if anything, you are a sitting damn duck. Okay? So, listen, y'all think the words, listen, rights of criminals. That's a big word here. Now, check this out. They're not talking about the rights of being a human being. They're not talking about the rights such as the right to an attorney, a right to speech, free speech. No, no, no. Rights mean, in this particular passage, that means to open up a chance or an availability of, are you listening to Morpheus? The rights of criminal, not meaning that they have the right to bombard you in your privacy and your life. No, no, no. That means to give way. Do you understand? To give way. Now let's read it again. To give way to criminals. Okay. Which are basically given more respect than the privacy of you. Than you and your free will. Your ability to protect yourself and to, what do you call that? To protect your children, your family, and create an establishment for yourself. Because they want to take away your arm. I'm not going to get into this. Okay, I want y'all to check out that audio. It's called Bad Mistakes People Make, or something like that. Bad mistakes are critical mistakes that people make. In that, I talk about the amendment of taking away your ability to protect yourself in arms. Okay, check that out, and I go into detail, but let's continue.
Although there are people suffering in poverty, huge donations are made to protect endangered species.
Is that what happened?
Everyone grows up being told the same thing.
Listen.
Be nice to other people.
But beat out the competition.
You're special. Believe in yourself and you will succeed.
Yep.
But it's obvious from the start that only a few can succeed.
Yep.
You exercise
the 1%.
Your right to freedom.
Listen.
And this is the result. All rhetoric to avoid conflict and protect each other from hurt.
Hate speech.
The untested truths spun by different interests continue to churn and accumulate in the sandbox of political correctness and value systems.
Everyone withdraws into their own small gated community,
Listen.
afraid of a larger forum.
Did you hear that? I'm just going to pause for a second. I know y'all hate being interrupted. I'm just going to make it quick. What they're saying is what you're experiencing now. People are afraid. People don't go out and play anymore. Children don't even go outside and play anymore. Mothers are scared of strange people. Fathers are scared of strange people, more defensive than ever. Okay, nobody wants to go into, it's probably still open, but the theaters anymore without worrying about looking over their shoulders with somebody popping off or something like that. The clubs still have somewhat of a bad reputation, but somebody always want to go in there with their blowhorn and show off with their girlfriend or someone else. You understand? This is what they're talking about. And people who are stuck in a home all day in front of their computer screen or their dumb phone don't want to go out and exercise. Why do you think the majority of Americans are obese? Okay, let me be honest with you. Fat. How about that? Okay? Because they don't get out of the house. They don't do jogging like they should. They don't eat like they're supposed to. They're not healthy like they should because they want to go into the gated community, okay, and be afraid of the larger forms. And that's not even, listen, it's not for a single culture. It's just about every culture. White people do this dumb too. Go into their gated community. Oh, I don't want to go out of the house. No. I don't want nobody to rob me. I don't want to go over there to that neighborhood. I don't match over there because I'm white. Some black people do too. Oh, I don't want to go over there because they're going to look at me. There might be some police over there in the white neighborhood. They're going to try to pin me over. They're going to try to pull me over because I'm a black man. That victim card, right? Playing that black victim card. Oh, if I go in the white neighborhood, there's going to be a white police officer chasing me. So I'm just going to stay in the black community, stay in my little bitty hobo home, my little bitty apartment, and stay scared. Because I'm scared of a larger form. They're telling you right here what you're dealing with today. And this is on your, listen, ladies, this is on your so-called childish video game that you keep barking and complaining and getting angry at your boyfriend for playing. When you had no idea he was receiving some serious red pill that he could not comprehend. And apparently you. Not everything is about entertainment. You got to receive the information one form or the other. What happened to Neo? Neo was in front of his computer, right? And he fell asleep. He had to be reached in one form or another. Because life is valuable, and at all costs, people must receive the truth. But let's go forward.
They stay inside their little ponds, leaking whatever truth suits them into the growing cesspool of society at large.
The different cardinal truths neither clash nor mesh. No one is invalidated, but nobody is right.
Oh.
Not even natural selection can take place here. The world is being engulfed in truth.
Okay, in so many words, we're living in a computerized time. Yes, we are. You want to have a pill for everything. You want to have a push button for everything, and you're damn lazy. Okay? And nowadays, listen to what she said. Not even natural selection can take place here. No, because guess what? Women don't know how to cooperate with men. Uh-oh. Morpheus didn't go there. No, I didn't. Metal Gear Solid did. They told you that. I'm just repeating what they... No, you can't. Aren't you having problems with marriage? Huh? Aren't 15-year-old kids doing atrocious, heinous crimes? Huh? Aren't we cutting too many trees? Aren't we digging too deep in the earth because we want to try to find more fossil fuels and oils and nonsense instead of trying to be natural like we're supposed to be? Okay, humans are the one that's creating the imbalance of the world. Want to talk about climate change? Don't let me go there. Read my book. Okay, you want to talk about climate change? Read my book, 2020 America Rise or Fall Hard by Leon C. And I'll break it down in there. But let's go forward. The world is being engulfed in truth. Uh-oh. That means at this particular time, some people are talking the truth. You see that every day. There are some people that are social media. There are content creators who are telling you what's going on, and it's bombarding the society because it's waking people up. That's why it's called a red pill. They wasn't lying to you. Let's go further for us childish adults.
And this is the way the world ends. Not with a bang, but a whimper.
Uh-oh.
We're trying to stop that from happening.
It's our responsibility as rulers.
Now I'm going to stop right there. Because we know the game goes on and they start talking about other things. These, of course, they was just pretending to be a different type of AI system. So if you stop the message right here, she says, Rose, before she left the dialogue, she said, that's what we're trying to prevent from happening. So basically she twisted the story on you to let you know exactly what's happening and what's going to happen, but it can be stopped. Okay. And that's what we're dealing with today. Funny, right? Such a childish game, but here you are with some, see, a lot of times we thought that there were some ignorant people years ago, especially before the year 2000, 1997. There's been rappers singing about women. You know, there's been some leaders that was telling you, hey, you don't need to get married. Just focus on yourself, focus on your task, and try to choose the right person. In every diaspora, in every orifice of our society, there has been people trying to reach out to us to say, hey, this is going to happen. Wake the hell up. Get your head straight. But yet exactly how they just dialogued it on this game right here is what we're dealing with today. That's what we're dealing with today. Why? Because we've been ignorant for too long. Therefore, when we wake up and we deal with this nonsense that we have going on, not only just in America, but around your world, that's because y'all accepted it. You wanted it. If somebody tells you that it's a red light and you see the red light, but you want to be ignorant to them because guess what? You're so stuck with useless information. You arguing, you emotional. You don't want to pay attention. You're purposely distracted instead of staying on your focus. You went right through the red light and you end up T-boned. And now your whole game is over. That's the whole task. The task is not to keep you from information. The task is to bombard you with information, but useless information. And not only for you, you give your useless information to your kids when you put a dumb phone in their face because they want to see the Odd Squad or Dora the Explorer. You don't understand that real education, real knowledge is going out into nature, going out there playing with sticks, throwing rocks, go fishing. Tell them to put the dumb phone down and pick up a book in the library. Go for a damn walk. Eat some natural vegetables instead of stopping at a fast food place. But because y'all don't know how to do it, okay, welcome to the Matrix. Welcome to your sick lifestyle. And to listen, and here's the red pill on this one. To cap all this and to assure this is to remove the logical man out of the picture who gets this information, who played this before probably years ago, and who comprehends what's going on, and put an emotional leader up in front who don't have time, who's working 2 jobs, a single mother, obviously, and just like, I just don't want to do it. I just want to be comfortable and I don't want to do the task that's required. So whatever's whatever. As long as my child is quiet, I can put whatever that I want to in front of my child because it's my child. We'll let them figure it out. And then when I get done, I'm going to send them to school so the school can be the child's babysitter because I don't want to do it. I'm going to wait until I find the perfect husband who's going to settle for me after 2 children and 2 marriages later. And she will never find it. And then if you times that by 100,000, okay, single mothers, single women, you have the next batch of kids who's going to grow up not knowing anything of the bamboozlement. And the message that I just gave you, the message that this simple game gave you, becomes a thing of the past. It's as if nobody never said anything. So right here, right in your face, you got even more information. You got more facts that there has been people trying to reach out to us. But guess what? We're so dumbfounded in our ignorance. Okay, we just bypass it instead of focusing on our task as human beings. It's Leon C, aka Morpheus, and I have more to come for you. And I do have another one. I'm going to make another one for you. Find more red pill providers and people who've been trying to drop very important information into you and your children and let you see just how dumb we was in our past. That's why we're here today, because we didn't pay attention. And so we have to suffer our consequence with a fallen state, a broken America, because we love our ignorance. We don't love ourselves.